All right, quick little clip here. We're going to watch an inside zone by the offense, and what the defense is doing is using an even front to fit this run. So a couple interesting things here to me. As always, I don't coach these teams. I'm just talking about what I see. So what do we mean when we say even front? So to me, an even front is just the defensive tackles are each aligned head up on the guard. Okay, so a defensive tackle is head up on the guard on both sides. We call that a two technique or a head up technique right there. You're going to have a defensive end with an outside shade to this side. And then it already gets interesting on the boundary here where the offense has added an extra blocker. So the defense here has aligned a defensive lineman in the C gap, A, B, C, and then an extra defender has shown up here to handle the D gap. So all the gaps are covered as we look at this. When it's an even front that we're talking about, we don't yet know which gaps each defender is responsible for because of that head-up alignment, right? So we figure that the defensive tackle and linebacker is going to work together to handle the A and B gap. We just don't know yet who's going to handle what. So that creates a little bit of maybe confusion for the offense, a little bit advantage to the defense there. What I think I'm seeing here is what I call a fallback technique. So what that means is these defensive tackles are going to be instructed to handle the backside gap of the run. So if the run goes this way, which is what we're seeing, they're going to handle this backside gap. And when he sees this run happening this way, he's going to handle the backside gap. Obviously now the linebackers can work over top and handle the front side gap of the run. So that's one way that they can work together to handle all the gaps. The other option would be to predetermine it. To say that this tackle is going to handle this gap no matter what, and this linebacker is going to handle this gap no matter what, whichever kind of blocking we get. So neither right or wrong, just a couple ways to do it. But this to me is a real key to handling this run here. This is a real key to the run fit, is when they step to this gap, now it's normal double team block destruction. Okay, they're getting a double team there. The linebackers are going to need to work over top and handle the front side gap. So what technique should the linebackers use? Again, a couple schools of thought. One would be, let's just attack it. Let's just hit that gap right now. Okay, make a big explosive play. That's a lot of fun. Okay, another option would be to shuffle with your gap from depth. Okay, that's a little better if you're seeing a lot of RPO, a lot of play action, and then attacking the gap once the running back declares. So two schools of thought there, no right or wrong answer, two ways of doing it. But what I'm seeing play out here, fallback technique to handle these gaps that frees up the linebackers to work over top. Pretty successful play for the defense on this particular play, but that's just one way to handle it when you're talking about an even front versus an inside zone.